So we discussed all of these techniques in detail in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that, just click on the link below. Now in this video, we are going to explore the most important prompt engineering frameworks used with modern AI systems. So we will start with fundamentals like zero shot and few shot prompting, and then we'll move on into like more advanced techniques such as meta prompting and generate knowledge prompting. From there, we will dive deep into the reasoning based approaches, including chain of thought, self consistency, direction stimulus prompting, and tree of thought frameworks. So in this video, each concept is demonstrated with a clear hands-on demo. So you won't just understand what these techniques are, but you will also know how to use them effectively in real-world applications. So let's get started.
Now let's say we want to demonstrate how zero-shot prompting can quickly generate preliminary audit summaries from raw financial data without specific training examples. Let's go to ChatGPT and see how it works. Now let's give the prompt. So the prompt says that a company XYZ reported $5 million in revenue for Q3 with operating expenses totaling $3 million. There was a $500K increase in cash reserves from previous quarters, and the liabilities stand at $2 million. Now, we want to summarize the financial position of the company and provide an initial assessment of compliance risk based on the data provided. So, let's press enter and see the answer. And here it gives us all the data that is required. So, this is how zero shot prompting works. It is using the pre-existing knowledge to provide the answer as no additional information is given. So the prompt says that a company ABC proposes a customized digital marketing strategy focused on social media engagement and search engine optimization. Our plan includes monthly content calendars, targeted ad campaigns, and a bi-weekly performance reports. We estimate a 20% increase in engagement within the first 3 months. Our team at company ABC recommends a data-driven approach for company DEF's growth strategy, concentrating on customer segmentation and predictive analytics. Key deliverables include detailed user personas, quarterly performance matrices, and a competitive analysis report. Expected outcomes are a 15% boost in customer retention within 6 months. Using the style and structure of the proposals above, create a customized proposal for company XYZ, a health and a wellness brand focusing on social media engagement strategy, targeted email marketing, and a quarterly wellness webinars. Include estimated outcomes and deliverables. Company ABC proposes a strategy for company XYZ focusing in boosting brand engagement and customer loyalty through social media, email marketing, and wellness content. Our plan includes bi-weekly social media content tailored to health and wellness trends, monthly email newsletters with personalized wellness tips, and quarterly webinars on health topics to engage the community. Estimated outcomes include a 25% increase in social media followers and a 15% rise in email open rates within the first 4 months. Now, here in this prompt, we have provided the examples of how we want our response to be like, and based on this, it should provide the response. Let's press enter and see the answer. And here it is doing exactly what is needed. It is providing the response that we require. So let's move on to our next technique now. Say we want to demonstrate how chain of thought can be used to evaluate a company's financial statement for discrepancies by generating a structured, step-by-step reasoning process. So let's go to ChatGPT and see how it works. Now here the prompt says, evaluate the risk of scenario below by considering multiple paths to analyze potential outcomes. After assessing each path, check for consistency across all the outcomes to confirm the overall risk level. And now it has given two scenarios: market turndown with path 1, analyze impact on short term revenue and operational costs, and the part 2, evaluate potential effects on long term growth and market positioning. The scenario 2 says supply chain disruption. That has path 1, calculate the financial impact due to delayed materials and alternating source cost. And the part 2, assess effects on production timelines and customer delivery schedules. Here the prompt is guiding to perform logical steps by giving two different scenarios that has two different paths and expecting it to provide the answer on the same basis. Let's see if it does that. And here it has given the expected answer for each scenario and for each of the path for respective features. So this is how chain of thought works. Now let's move on to our next technique. Let's see how it works through a demo. Say we want to demonstrate how self-consistency in chain of thought prompting can improve accuracy in scenario-based assessments by generating multiple reasoning paths and validating the consistency of outcomes. Let's go to ChatGPT and see how it works. Now here the prompt says conduct a risk assessment for the financial audit of company XYZ by exploring the following key risk areas. For each category, we have to identify specific risk factors and provide an assessment based on potential impact and likelihood. Risk category 1, financial performance risk, that has branch 1.1, liquidity assessment, and branch 1.2, solvency and debt structure. Then there is risk category 2, compliance risk, that has branch 2.1, regulatory compliance overview, and branch 2.2, tax compliance risk. Then there is risk category 3, fraud risk, that has branch 3.1, risk of revenue recognition manipulation, and branch 3.2, potential for expense misreporting. Lastly, there is risk category 4, operational risk, having branch 4.1, internal control assessment, and 4.2, efficiency in financial reporting processes. Now here the prompt has multiple reasoning chains and it is expected to provide more accurate answer to each of them based on the reasoning chains. Let's see the answer. And here it is giving us a desired response. So this is how self-consistency in chain of thought prompting works. Now we'll cover tree of thoughts. Let's see through an example. Let's demonstrate how tree of thought prompting can systematically explore and assess different risk factors in a financial audit, enabling the AI to consider multiple branches of risk factors and generate a comprehensive risk assessment report. Let's go to ChatGPT and see how it works. Let's give the prompt. Now, here the prompt says conduct a risk assessment for the financial audit of company XYZ by exploring the following key risk area. For each category, identify specific risk factors and provide an assessment based on potential impact and likelihood. Risk category 1, financial performance risk, that has branch 1.1, liquidity assessment, branch 1.2, solvency and debt structure. Then it has risk category 2, compliance risk, that has branch 2.1, regulatory compliance overview, and 2.2, tax compliance risk. Then comes risk category 3, fraud risk, that has branch 3.1, risk of revenue recognition and manipulation, branch 3.2, potential for expense misreporting. Then there is risk category 4, operational risk, that has branch 4.1, internal control assessment, and 4.2, efficiency in financial reporting processes. Now, as we have seen in tree of thought, we need to provide prompts that branch out into different directions, exploring alternatives and sub possibilities, so to get the answer accordingly. And here we have provided it with the same. Now let's press enter and see if it gives us the desired response. And we can see that it has given us the desired response. So this is how tree of thought prompting works. Now we'll dive into meta prompting. Say, we want to demonstrate how meta prompting can help analyze employee data to identify specific training needs, ensuring training programs are tailored to address skill gaps and improve team performance. Now, let's go to ChatGPT and see how it works. Let's give the prompt. Now, here we have provided a department sales where it is measuring employee performance matrices, customer engagement scores, product knowledge ratings, sales conversion rates, skill assessment results, communication skills, negotiation techniques, technical knowledge. Then generate prompts that will analyze the data provided to identify specific training needs for each department, focusing on skills that can improve team performance. For each prompt, consider factors like skill gaps, employee feedback, and department goals. Example prompts generated by Meta prompts are: 1. Identify communication skills within the sales team and suggest training topics to improve customer engagement. Second is analyze technical knowledge ratings and recommend specific training modules to boost product expertise. Third is examine sales conversion rates and propose negotiation techniques training to enhance performance. The response for the first prompt is based on communication skill assessment, several team members could benefit from training in active listening and customer rapport building. Suggested training is effective communication techniques for customer engagement. Response to the second prompt is technical knowledge ratings reveal a gap in product feature understanding. Recommended training modules for this is in-depth knowledge and advanced technical training on product features. Prompt 3 responses: sales conversion rates indicate a need for enhanced negotiation skills. Suggested training for this is advanced negotiation techniques for high conversion sales. Now here you can see one prompt's response is used to generate other prompt. Now press enter and see the answer. Now here it is providing us with different prompts and different prompt response based on the examples given in the prompt. So this is how meta prompting works. Next, we'll dive into generate knowledge. Let's demonstrate how generate knowledge prompting can be used to develop a more effective client engagement strategy that enhances relationships and drives business growth. Let's go to ChatGPT and see how it works. Let's give the prompt. Now here the prompt says provide insights and strategies for improving client engagement based on the following goals: strengthening client relationships, personalizing communication, and increasing client lifetime value. Consider successful client engagement models from industries like technology, retail, and services. Here you can see how we are not just retrieving information but using its existing knowledge to create new insights and ideas based on the examples of the industries given. So let's press enter and see the answer. See, now here we have provided the features for what we want the client engagement models for. And we have given the name of the industries, but we have not given any specific data for that. So it will use its pre-existing knowledge to provide the answer, and it is doing the same. So this is how generate knowledge prompting works. Now we'll move to our next technique. Let's see it through an example. We'll demonstrate how directional stimulus techniques can be used to improve the employee onboarding process, ensuring that new hires are effectively integrated into the company culture and equipped with the necessary tools and knowledge. Let's go to ChatGPT and give the prompt. Let's give the prompt. Now here the prompt is asking to design an employee onboarding process that ensures new hires are effectively integrated into the company culture, understand their role, and are provided with the necessary tools and resources. It is asking it to focus on 1. Introducing company values and culture, 2. Providing training resources and tools, 3. Setting clear role expectations, and 4. Ensuring smooth integration with the team. Here, we are crafting prompts to guide the AI's response into a specific direction, like we are guiding it to focus on introducing company's value and culture, providing training resources and tools, on setting clear roles, expectations, and ensuring smooth integration with the team. And we want the prompt to provide us the desired answer based on our expectations. So let's hit enter and see the answer. Now here we can see it has focused on all the 4 areas we wanted it to focus on, and it has also provided us with some additional best practices to follow. So this is how direction stimulus prompting works.